Matt's gonna be our superstar of the video. All right, well today we are gonna be doing the oats. We are gonna be chopping grass today later too, but Jake Danduran's here and he's gonna be combining this. This first section here is not oats right here because Freddie ran out of seed. So that's why it looks like that. But farther up, we'll show you. And they're ready, but they're pretty flat now because of all the rain we've been getting. So that's gonna make it kind of an issue, but with how wet of a year it is, we're gonna take it as it is. So he went around the field once and up the middle.
I can't find any seeds on the ground. No,
He found some of the wet spots.
Or whatever it is. That's right. That's what it's doing. It's doing a good job. You don't want that in there. You want that on the ground.
So Jake's just looking at losses and luckily not finding any yet.
I don't see any. Thing's doing a good job.
If the ground was a little drier, you get really nice straw. We're gonna,
a little damp.
if we could tet it. The problem is you can't really tet it because the ground's so wet.
If you let it dry, you think it'll dry in a roll like that? Nice, because if you tet it, you're gonna lose all.
Yeah, we can't tet it. I know that.
You're gonna have to let it dry as much as you can and then bale it.
It's either gonna get baled if it dries enough. If it doesn't, we're gonna chop it.
It's just, you can feel a little
But I can see that it's a little green. I don't think the camera's picking it up. But you could see it's a little green and you can definitely feel it. But the oats are dry enough. They're down to 12%.
I think you might be all right.
Be nice. It looks like a lot of volume.
You know, once you get the wind, I think it'll help dry that out.
How flat did it get from all the rain? Or
you know, it's probably laid over, I don't know, the 25–30%.
Is what it is.
Still picking it up just as good. You know.
Matt's a professional. No.
We got a test hole right there? Yeah, you can.
So that's how clean they're looking. The whole bin, I mean, there's a little bit of stuff in there, but nothing bad at all.
Yeah. Stick your camera down there.
And then, well, he went around, basically it would have been one ring around the field, but he just went up the middle. A third full.
Third full.
How much does this hold?
It holds about 7 ton.
Okay. I don't know how many bushels that is. I don't know
like
bushels.
200, I don't know. 230 bushels,
yeah.
50 bushels, something like that.
It's doing a really nice job. We had no clue what to expect with how wet the ground's about as wet as I expected in the normal wet holes. But for the most part, it's holding together really good, like right here. About a couple weeks ago, Cody Paradis came and combined a strip. It was way too green. It was 25% still, but we wanted to get something figured out how the moistures were, but it wasn't good going. That also gave us the ability to know to come and spray it. So you'll see sprayer ruts. We had Boucher's spray it. The ground was wet. They definitely made ruts, but it's just how this year's going. But other than those couple of things that we've been fighting, the weather this year, it's looking like it might turn out good. Looks like a lot of volume for oats and a lot of straw. So how we're gonna deal with the straw is yet to be determined, just because of we ourselves don't have a square baler, and with how it's not dry enough today to just square bale, so it would have to dry. We'll let Matt make the decision. What do you think? No. But it is turning out really good, really good. We're not finding any seeds, so that's good. And it's cleaning really good. So he's got a 20-foot head, and he's gonna head down, and then we got the white truck set up there that has kind of a grain door on it. Ain't perfect, like with a handle, but we can hit it open with a hammer to let it empty out. And it's gonna work out. We're walking down to the truck, and this is kind of the known wetter section of the field. And from here over a little bit, it's gonna be pretty wet. So he's gonna head downhill here, and then there it's kind of a wetter spot. He's gonna go uphill. It doesn't look like it's, I meant drier. But it doesn't look drier since the ruts, but he's going uphill and it is what it is. But at least where the hay's sitting, it's gonna be dry. But we'll figure out what we're gonna do. It's not perfect conditions, Matt, but this year nothing's been perfect.
Okay.
So Jake's right here by the truck. So you got one whole ring around the field. Christoph got the truck backed in right here. Marcus is sitting in it. And it's still out of the field and it's dry enough, and he should be able to just back in there. If not, I'm just gonna back it into here and we'll pull it out if it gets stuck. But I think he's got a long enough spout, it'll work just fine like this. Looks like the truck's gonna work just fine in there. I think this spot of the field's gonna be pretty rutted up, but not the end of the world. That's the first unload of oats ever for this farm. My oats. So he's dumped the one load in here, and I don't think we're gonna have enough truck space with one load. So we might have to get another truck later. We'll see. It's a good problem, Matt. Mm-hmm. My dad is here too. And we'll see how this plans out today. In the combine here with Jake, he's unloading the second load. I guess I should have recorded it when it was full, but
we'll get the next round.
Yeah. And I even brought him some lunch.
Some snack here.
But I'm not sure if the truck will hold it all, but hopefully it does. But it's honestly a good problem if it doesn't either. So we'll deal with that when we get to that part of the ship.
I'm not used to this auger because it's a little bit longer than my other one.
This one sits up higher.
Sits a little higher and a little further out. Okay, we can go for it. Yeah, she was pawing on that other side over there.
Yeah. Well, it looks like you were using your four-wheel drive.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing. I think we'd probably be stuck if I didn't have four-wheel drive.
Yeah, she's soft.
But so far so good, other than the automatic header height not working. It's kind of a pain.
Well, nothing works right the first time out of the gate.
No.
This is a new to Jake combine this year.
Yeah.
This is the first crop you're saying you put through it?
Yeah, this is my test run with it right here. So I'm working the bugs out, if any. And so far we got one. Once we get the header height fixed, it won't be so bad. But it's honestly not that bad without the auto header height because it's pretty flat. Yeah,
so we packed it and everything. That way there was no stones or anything out. And it is one of our wettest fields, but it's the hardest ground, and we always heard it grows good on hard ground, which I'm not sure what it's yielding right now.
We're gonna try and take a look at the monitor this time around.
But the sprayer ruts are definitely probably giving some issues.
Not too bad. Just, you know, in that, you know, where the ruts are, it was acting up a little bit. The cutter bar kind of catch the bug and drag a little bit, but yeah, just slow down or back up and set your head back down and good to go again. Like right here, get a good look at what's gonna happen because we're right on top of a sprayer rod right now.
Yeah, so he can't really eat right on the ground, but yeah, I think they're 100-foot booms, so
the next pass will be a nice one.
At least it's not every go around happening.
See this here, the ruts, you know, are not really high, so it's riding over pretty good, so we're all right.
Yeah. There was no good time to have them come in and spray because when there was a good stretch of rain, it was still not dry enough. Even when it was a good stretch of weather, it still wasn't dry enough to have them come in because it needed 4 or 5 days just to somewhat get the field dry. But we'll be happy to get the oats off.
Yep, a couple hours here, we'll be done. Yeah, you can tell the straw he's got a little green tint to it over there.
Yeah.
A little damp.
We'll probably end up chopping it and putting it in with that, because we'll put the little 10-foot head on. It'll go between your tracks a lot better, and we'll deal with it like that. We'll run the dump wagon, and we're not going to lose and waste it. Might as well figure it out. But
see right here, show them that. See, it's following up on that rut a little bit. You can see it right there. Back out of it. Might lower the head a little bit. Kind of get it, shake it off the header a little bit. Let's see if we can't get it to feed better. And it still ain't going. So you can see it's not coming in. Back up a little bit and try to get it out of there. Try again. And there it goes. Okay, so just like that. Oh, doing it again. Son of a gun.
But normally this is a cornfield, and I've shared many, last 3 years I think I've done a video where we normally rut it up pretty good during corn. But in corn you don't matter, because you can run your head 2 feet off the ground as long as you're below the ear. It don't matter, and that's for snappage at least, not normal chopping. She's definitely clawing sideways.
Trying to keep a straight line here.
Do you have auto steer in this, or just yield monitoring?
It's got guidance on it, but honestly, I don't know if it's got the hydraulics to run the auto steer or not.
Okay.
But it's got the guidance GPS on the top, on the cap.
It came with it?
Yeah, I haven't messed with it too much yet. I mean, I don't know how to tell if it's set up for auto steer or not. I don't know. Gotta look into that. I would probably use it if it was set up for it. Oh, let's look over here.
So
Nothing happening. Maybe we can go to run 2.
what's it reading for moistures, or is that not accurate right now, not calibrated? I know when we sent the sample out, it was running right at 11-12%, but that was last week. But we were waiting for this good stretch of weather to come. And all this rain we've been getting has been slowly flattening the field, as you guys have seen in the video. But this is probably one of the worst years we could have chose to try something new.
Farming is gambling.
But
you want to gamble, just start farming.
Yeah. So it's saying it's like 8% moisture.
Oh yeah?
Right here.
Oh yeah.
That's what it's saying. I don't know if you gotta calibrate them.
Yeah, you gotta calibrate. I haven't done that. I haven't calibrated the test weight or the moisture or anything yet. Just figuring out the basics of the machine so far.
And we really won't know what it yields in the whole field until we kind of get it all off and weigh it and then go off the acres. That's the most accurate way to do it.
I mean, there's a lot of oats here. You know, that's a thick mat right there. Doing a good job picking it up, that's for sure.
For only 20 feet, it's a pretty good sized windrow, to me at least.
Yeah, I think the drier it is, the fluffier the windrow seems.
Yeah. So that's what it looks like coming in, and you barely see any straw. Got a section bunching up.
Yeah, right side was plugging.
So I never recorded the first time we tried it, just because we were kind of just trying to figure everything out, and it was too green. The whole field looked like a grass field. It was that green, not because of the straw, but because of the grass growing. And it probably took 2 weeks for it to truly die off like this, because otherwise he'd only be able to cut the top 2 inches. But it was all standing back then also, so it's good we had it sprayed. because otherwise it'd be pretty much impossible to do this, because he has to have the header on the ground just to be able to get everything since it laid over.
Come on, you son of a gun.
I think that's your combine rut pulling that one off.
Huh?
Your combine rut doing that?
Yeah, it's the way it's laid over, I think, plus the rut. There she goes.
He's got.
Oh, no.
You've got fortunate not to have to go one way yet, but the way it's laying, you almost have to go a certain way. But it feels like it felt that way.
Yeah, it's got a south wind took it down or something.
I think it's because of the rain. We had a blanket come through last week.
Yeah.
And
luckily it's not completely flat.
Yeah, it's still about...
It's about, what, 6-8 inches off?
That's what I was thinking. You getting like 3 times up and down?
I would say so. 3 passes, yeah. 3 up and downs. 5.
So the bin, she's getting pretty full. Can I get out for a second? Just to, yeah. I'm not gonna walk, I'll just get on the steps. So that's how it's cleaning. It's running quiet. See, down the hill it works great. So that's how it always goes. But it's picking up real nice. You can see it's flat, but it's about 6-8 inches up. And it's still clean and nice. Now before someone complains on why we're going not waiting for dry weather, if I guess you don't live around here, you don't get the kind of rain we're getting this year. This is the best stretch of weather we got all summer, and it's the 2nd of September, or 3rd, I can't remember, what is it? It's the 3rd of September, and we finally got a good stretch of weather, so we're taking it when we can, and it is what it is. Right here, we're actually in a nice spot where it was all standing.
Standing beautiful.
And I mean, right by the fingers, you can really see it coming in.
Oh yeah.
It'd be beautiful if it was standing, but that rain really put a toll on the crop. Luckily, corn can handle that a lot better, but that's what you get with small grain. They can't handle the harsher conditions. And it's also why we don't, like, people don't do crop rotations really around here on the river bottom, because if you flood your like alfalfa or your soy, it ain't coming back, especially soy. Like the corn we had under 6 feet of water, you see it in the videos on our big cornfield, maybe it was 5 feet, I'm not sure. If you flood soy that much under water, it's done, it's dead. The corn, the top was still getting sunlight, and I mean, we had big sections this year that are dead from it. Not saying that it didn't, but a good portion of the crop still survived with the other grain. The shorter stuff is dead. So you have to be picky, choosy on where you put certain crops. But yeah, this stuff's here standing really nice.
Yeah.
And it's feeding in still standing how you want it actually. But yeah. I'm impressed for the most part. It's clean and nice. And the grain bin is full. For the most part.
A little trashy, but it'll get clean.
Yeah. And then we got to do a test on making sure it germinates, and we should hopefully, if everything works out as it does on paper, which half the time it doesn't, but you know, farming's easy if your plow is a pencil and your field is a piece of paper. I forgot what president said that, but it's true. We should have enough to do all our cover cropping this winter with these oats, as long as they germinate. Even here where it's laying down, it's still, you can see how thick it is. It's like a whole bed.
Yeah. Oh, I love Mountain Dew.
So he's unloading the 3rd load.
Here.
Well, oh, no, that's yours.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I'll be fat by the time I leave here.
My mom brought him another sandwich. Well, with the way it's looking, another three dumps probably.
I'd say so.
So we'll have enough truck room, but that sucker's gonna be full, I'm pretty sure.
I don't see it yet though.
If
Once you do see it.
yeah, I see it.
Oh, you do see it?
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's just peeking. So you probably got another dump where you won't barely see it in the back, and then the rest of it you're gonna see it. So it's gonna go quick. I don't think the camera is really picking up, but you just see the top of it.
Rainy year?
Yeah. So Jake's been messing with his monitor. His operator manual, he said, is in French. He has
no idea how to use the dang thing.
He hasn't learned French yet since he bought this.
But we got it to read yield, dry yield reading, and it's down to 1 ton to the acre right now. But it was reading
at 1.4, and it keeps. Yeah, it looks like it's fluctuating between 1 and 1.4, depending on like the area.
Yeah, it should go up because this is good stuff right here. Keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's starting to go up.
Is it?
I mean, I don't know what that means for bushels an acre.
Oh, there's a bushel setting on here. I just gotta mess with it.
But
bushels to the acre, I would say probably 40 bushels to the acre. My guess. Quick estimate.
I don't know if that's good or bad for oats.
I would say it's a little on the light side, just but for the kind of year we had, and you know, I'd say it's.
We didn't put any fertilizer on this. Bertie did one strip over there, but he already combined it, and we were hoping to see a difference, but then he was kind of trying to figure his monitor out, and I completely forgot to mention that earlier that we did that. So we definitely noticed in the growing year that it made a difference, but
0.3 here.
So it's going back up, but it's fluctuating between that 1.5 and 1.6.
1.6.
So, I mean, if we did put manure on it in the fall last year and the spring, that was all we did, and then we planted into it. No fertilizer shot at all, so it definitely has room to be better, but we were learning. We didn't even know we had to put fertilizer on, and we were hoping not to have to spray it, but because of how wet a year it is, it brought the weeds back. So can't be perfect.
Moisture, that don't seem right. 4% moisture,
I think she's a little low. When we tested it, it was reading 11, 12.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
So could his other things be completely right either? Possibly. I mean, we're just saying what it's saying. So don't take my word for it or his.
We'll recalibrate it and we'll get back to you. We'll have to, you know, do some more small grains and get it calibrated, but yeah. I gotta get the header height working first.
Kind of on a little bit of a side hill here. Cameras never pick up any hills, but it's pulling them to the left. But I will say, it's cleaning very good. Now that the crop's drier than it was when we first tried it, it's able to separate it a lot because the leaves are all dead, and it's able to shake it and blow it so all the stuff separates. And we were looking, and we didn't find any seeds from the head losing any. And there's nothing. Those are all just empty shells. But you can see there's a tint of green. So there is some moisture in the stalk. It's just been a very hard year for farming. Very wet. And now there's other parts of the country that could take half our water and they'd be completely fine. But it's just the situation we got right now. So he'll finish this up to the road, and then he's got a little, about a quarter section up there to finish up, and then he'll... I was gonna get a clip up there, but Jake stopped. He got some mud. You'll have that. I was expecting that to happen more, honestly. Yeah, that's the first time, so we're doing good. He'll clean himself up here. So I wasn't paying attention. I dove the fucking head into the side of the thing over there. I figured I'd get out of the mud to get a normal video. I'll hop in lower down. Yeah, so now that I'm on the ground level, you can see how the crop's laying. It's still about 6-8 inches off the ground. That's why his sickle bar is able to still pick it all up. You can see it right behind him. It's all clean still. So I gotta go. We're chopping grass. He has about a third of the field left, maybe not even a quarter. Yeah, about that. So I gotta say thanks to Jake for coming and combining, and I'm gonna end the video. Anything you want to say? Well, I'm glad we could do it for you. You know, we had some tough weather events here lately, and I knew if we held out, we'd eventually get some good weather, and we did. And here we are getting it done, and it's going pretty good. So I think we made the right move, and you know, be patient, and we got the weather finally, and that's about it. Yeah, so thanks for watching. Till the next one, and maybe in a future video I'll tell you what it yielded, but we won't know until that load gets sent in. Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching. Till the next one. He's still got that much left, and that over there, maybe a quarter, and this is how full the truck is so far. So it's yielding good.